Hello, this is Lolly. I have this super fun card to show you today. I'm over the moon for you, and it's a 3D sort of a shadow box card known as a tunnel card. I'm going to show you how I made this. Okay, so what we're going to use today is this tunnel card kit by Photoplay. This is what the original kit looks like, which has 3 of the card sets and the rectangle dies. There's 2 rectangle dies, but you can also use your own shape of dies. You can use circles, for instance. And then this is the value pack, which no die is included and makes 6 cards. So just so you know. Now, instructions are all laid out right here. There are 3 pieces to this. This one, which has 3 score lines. You're going to start with it just like the picture right here. And then that's called window 1. This is window 2. And the third thing is the base card. The card base, which looks like this, and it has 1 score line. The next thing we're going to use is this Shoot for the Moon stamp set and die set by Tonic Studios. Okay, so the first thing with this is I do want to create a background, so I want to show you what your pieces are here. So the card base is also the card front. It does help to go ahead and get your materials scored, not scored, but burnished so that you know what goes where. And this one. And on this one, all of the scores go facing the same way. I mean, it's all curved towards you like this. Now, this is the base with the short side to the right. That's the base of the card. This is the front. So this is what you would want to decorate. And it's up to you whether you decorate that before or after. But I think it would be easier to assemble your card flat if it's not decorated. This, window 2 and window 1. So you can see they put it like this so that you can see right here, this is window 1 and window 2. The reason they flip it around is because this is actually how it's going to be assembled. Okay. This is what you're going to see through the hole, through the opening. This is going to be the front of the window, and this is going to be the inside panel. So that helps us to understand what we're going to decorate. So we're going to decorate this, this, and this for our ink blending. So the first thing I want to do, this says cut 1 panel with the largest shape. If you were using paper on yours, like you're going to glue a decorative paper, I would do that first and then do your die. But for now, what I want to do, because I'm doing mine a little different, and I'm going to trace the inside of this so that I know where to put my inks. See how that's going to help me know where to ink? So I will do that, and then I will cut that panel out. It's a lot easier to ink with that without the hole in there. Okay, so let's get this out and start inking. So for the sky, I want to use Siren Blue, Midnight Surf, and Spring Heather. And I am going to start with, let's start with the lighter color, which would be the Spring Heather. And what I'm thinking is this is going to be the panel that's closest to me, and so I'm going to have that lighter and then get darker as I go back into the scene. I think I'm going to like that. And I'm just spreading this around. It's no particular rhyme or reason to anything. Okay, you could use your distress inks for this if you'd like to. Now these ink cubes, I like that they have the name here and there, so you don't have to put your own ink colors on them. These still fit into the Tim Holtz tins that hold the inks, even with the pad on the back. The pads are not included in the inks. I'm going over that pencil mark to make sure I get that. This one, as you can see, is a real deep blue here. Now I want just a little bit of black on there, so I'm going to, I do have my blending brush handy because I can cover a larger surface of that, of my project with it. But I don't have enough blender brushes to, let's cover this up. This is the black, but I don't have enough blending brushes to have one for each color, so that's why I'm switching to back and forth from foam to blender brushes. I'm starting off just a very light touch, and then I'm increasing pressure as I go along, and it helps to not get just you know, the big line of demarcation on these. I don't care that I'm getting it on the ends here. That's going to be taped anyway. So now I can go ahead and put my die on there, center that. Be careful with your tape when you put your removable tape on here. And I want you to look at how you want this. I want more space at the bottom for a sentiment. So however you position this is what you're going to get. Now this is really cute. Alrighty, we could put something over that with a sentiment. It'd be really cute. So now in order to know where to decorate or where to cut my die on this window too, I'm going to center it in the back, lining up my score lines like that. And now I know how this is going to be centered. So I'm going to do the same thing, lay it in here, trace that, at least make marks. All right, the same thing, but I'm hoping that I can make this a little darker than my card front, but I did get that pretty dark, so we'll see. I do want to start off with the lighter color again. Oops, one more thing. We're supposed to put our tape on here. It calls for 1/8 inch tape. Okay. And yes, the window 1 is going to cover a lot of this down here, but still you will see it from different angles. So I think it is helpful to go ahead and get that coverage anyway. And when you're by the tape, I would try to do more, and be careful not to pull that tape up with your strokes. All right, now let's get that die. Remember, put this window to the right. This, I'm going to put it in here so I can see where to cut it. Line up those scores. Then I like to, in order to not tear up any of the inking I've done, I try to put the purple tape mostly on the inside here. Okay, let's run this through the die cutting machine. And there we have it. So now I'm going to set this aside. And the other thing I want to do is the inside of the card. So we would have this and this. We're going to see this back here. So I'm going to ink this up off camera because it's just going to be the same technique. I'm going to ink the whole thing. Okay, so what I know I want to use a moon in the opening here, so I am going to use this one. Now it can do two things. You can just cut out a moon, or you can also emboss or deboss using this piece. So I'm going to get myself a moon cut out. Alrighty, so what I think I want to do though is to give that some color on the edges, and I think I'll use this carrot stick color. Like I said, I'm being very careful. I don't want to overdo it. I think this helps to give it a glow. And another thing is that there is a texture stamp for the moon, and right here to give it some little pockmark looking. Let's use a brown color. I'm going to use this soft suede. There we go. All right, I think that's going to be really cute in there. Now, there are also some stars, which I want to use right around here. And I want to emboss in silver. Okay, so I want to give this a little bit of a dusting with this anti-static brush, just to make sure that this isn't going, the glitter isn't going to go everywhere, because this is a glittery silver. I'm taking my chances here. So if I want the moon here, I have to think about the placement. It's going to be right about there. I want some stars, maybe right in here. Cover the embossing pad. I shook this up so the glitter would be evenly throughout. The glitter still tends to stick anyway, but I figure it could be a positive thing for me because it would give me even more glitter and stars in the background. Glittery sky, and I am going to put this up. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it. This is a board that I assembled with an IKEA cutting board in their kitchen supply. Okay, so we know we have that. Another thing that I would like to do is to hole punch a couple of silver stars. And this is just some cardstock that I got from the craft store. Now, the final placement of those is we will have time to get those in there later. But I'm also thinking that I would like the mountain range, this here, across. I want to have this and have the mountain range coming off of here, so it's got some dimension going on there. But I don't need too much, and I can use the back of this, and you see it's still even wider than I need. So I will stamp that out and then trim off the excess there. I'm going to have glitter everywhere. Now, I have already stamped this off once, so I know that it's working well. When you get a new stamp, it's always wise to make sure you stamp off on scrap paper first. I'm inking the whole thing up because I'm not really sure what part of this I want to use. I think I want this tall peak in there. There we go. Beautiful. And now I can trim that down just a smidge. I'm going to ink this up, and then I'm going to take the die tube. I think it'll be easier to hold on to this while it's wet. While it's full. So let's get our inks out again. I think I want a little bit of green in here. So let's look at the dried oregano one. And I'm not going all the way up at the top because I would like to have some of the, like a snow-covered mountain look. And now I want to get in some blue as well. I'm going to use some of this Midnight Surf. So with the mountains, yes, there's green, there's the green pine trees, there's also the grass, so I'm not being too particular about where I get the blue. And again, I'm not going all the way to the top on purpose. Okay, so let's use the die and get that cut out. So again, this is going to be this window here, and I do want to make sure it's going up into my field of vision, so we can lay this over here and see Is that too high? Maybe. I think I'll put it down about here. Oh, that's going to be so fun. Now we can lay this here. That's the way that goes. And I have to think about where I want that moon again. I'm okay with it going a little bit out of the range there. With these cards, there are so many layers that you want to not use foam tape on the inside or your card will not fold up flat when you're done. All right, the next step is I'm going to add one of these kind of off the side there, and one, I'm just putting it on the edge. This is going to hang off into the center there. Okay, so the next step is, now that I've gotten these laid out, it says to take the window 2, peel off the right side tape and lay it here just to touching the first score line. So we say first, we got 1, 2, 3. It's going to just touch it but not go over it. Line that up. And then fold this on the first score line right over that. And give that a really good burnish. Okay, now that is connected. I was just giving that a little extra fold there. Okay, so these two are basically connected, these two. But now what I want to do is peel off this one here. Okay, hold on, let me get this. Open that up and burnish it again. Okay, now I'm going to peel this off on the left side, and this time I'm going to fold it on the second score line right there. Like that. Perfect. And this is what it's looking like. Oh, it is so cute. Now, before I do anything else, before I assemble the card, I want to put a sentiment here, and it will be a lot easier if I do it before I assemble the rest of the card. So what I like is this stamp that says, "You are my moon, my stars, my everything." So I'm going to put that on some white cardstock. I have this piece left that I cut out of the window. Well, I might do it on this blue cardstock. Let's see. Let's see how that looks. I'm using up my scraps here. Okay. Now we need to get this trimmed down. And I think I'm going to put that, I'm going to mat that on black, but I could mount it on silver. I'm not sure if that's going to be too bright. Okay, let's use this one. And now I think I want to use the Deckle Trimmer to deckle this up. I like that. So I'm going to adhere this there. I'm wondering about using some silver edging here. I do have the glitter marker. This is the Silver Mist. Gotta shake it up. And the first time you go to use it, you need to push the tip down to get the silver down to the tip. I just think the silver will really make this stand out. But now I need to let it dry. Oh yes, that really helps. Normally I would go ahead and put this up on foam tape, but like I said, we have to be careful because the card will not lie flat if we do that. But now, because I can get my card flat, I can get this on there easily because I haven't assembled my card yet. You know what? I think a star might work really well right there. So let's do that. I'm going into the black right there. So I love these tunnel cards, the dimension that they add. Oh, so pretty. Now, the only thing we have to do now is the actual card base, or it could also be called the card cover, and that is this. So if you remember, there is a short side or a narrow side and a wide side. This is the way it is oriented. This will be the front cover, and then this gets adhered onto that. So there's no need to decorate this at all, although I do want to put some double-sided tape on this. I want to work on decorating this. So what I think I'm going to do is get this a mat, and I'm going to do 4 by 5 1/4 black, and I think I'll go ahead and deckle those edges as well and put the silver around there, and that'll give me some continuity. You see, I'm just shaving off the very, very end now. Perfect. And let's get the silver around there as well. So many of you always notice my jewelry while I'm crafting. You like my bracelets today? You too can own this lovely set of bracelets. Okay, and also I showed you this moon here, but there is a large moon, and I want to use that on the front of my card because I think that would be very striking. And that is this one. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is so fun. Now I want to add that same orange ink here. Oh, this really makes it glow. Oh, so pretty. So that will go on the front. Okay, again, so the longer of these two is the cover. This is going to go there. You know, another thing is, there's always something else, right? In the die set, there are these dies that just punch stars out. And I'm wondering about doing a couple of those. I'm going to do this here and maybe do these across the top like that. Well, this is really cute because now the white will be showing through here. Just like that. Let's get that glued down. I could have made this black mat even a little larger. Okay, now we're going to put this down there. Oh, the color of that on the black is so striking. I just can't get over it. It's so pretty. And I want to add a sentiment right across here. So let's look. I think I'm going to do, let's see, shoot for the moon. I'm over the moon for you. Let's do that. Now I can use my white. That scrap is bad. Let's use this. Oh, so cute. And let's go for a tiny black border. I'm going to use, let's see, let's go for the 3/16. Let's see, or let's do the 1/8. And these are some layering guides. I love these. Okay, I did not get this one lined up right. There we go. There we go. Perfect now. I could tell that first cut didn't go well. Now, I think I want to put that on glitter as well. So let's get this back out. Is this too bright? I think I'm going to go for a toned down silver like this one here. Now, this is a really good glitter. It's the kind of glitter paper that when you get it, you don't have glitter flaking off. I still am burnishing that and getting it down in there. So if you have a problem getting your glue to adhere, you could switch to something like Fabri-Tac. Now I'm going to use a little bigger than the size of a border I used for that one. I think I'm going to switch to the 3/16. So what you do is you look at the numbers right there. Isn't that perfect? I just love that. I think that's the perfect glitter paper. And the other thing I'm noticing is these little tiny stars that I punched out from that black paper can be used right here. Why don't we do that? Oh, sweet. Now I'm going to set this aside because I want my front to be flat when I assemble the whole card. And I want to put this up on foam tape. So that'll be my last step. The next step is I want to get the double-sided tape on this. Let's get our card. Now all we need to do is open this up so that this is going to get adhered here. And we want to line that up just to the inside of that fold line. Okay, so now this is the card. See how it can go flat? But if I had put foam tape on the inside, it wouldn't. And now when I open it, you're going to see this is still flipping, but we have to adhere this side here to that. So we can use it double-sided tape there. I'm going to go with this. This is the 1/4 inch, I think. But I want another row here, so I'm going to take this off and add another row so I can get all the way up there. Okay, now with this flat from here all the way over, I'm just going to fold this over. And that's the that's the final assembly, because when we open it, that pulls the mechanism. It pulls that so that it is now the three dimensions there. Now we can add this on with our foam tape. And there you have it. I love too that you can actually see some of the inks on this side. If you don't like that, you can cover this part up while you're inking this. Love it. I think it is a very fun project and so many possibilities, and what a great sentiment. I'm over the moon for you. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I will give you links down below.